Here's more of our interview with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, where we discuss the new government in Northeast Syria and whether or not President Trump might be playing a role just like an ancient biblical character did 2,500 years ago, Queen Esther. Northeast Syria has been in the news a lot in the last couple of months, and you know there's a new democracy there that represents all the people, protects religious freedom and Christians, and even puts a priority on the role of women. What can you tell those people, that new government and many of the Christians there, about what the U.S. will do to protect that new democracy, even as it's surrounded by many countries that are threatening that area?
So when we think about Syria and the Trump administration, we think about the entire region, right, extending from Iraq all the way to the Mediterranean. We were just talking about Lebanon. The challenges in Syria remain. The United States intends to remain. We are close to the destruction of the caliphate. It will be completed very, very soon. But the threat from radical Islamic terrorism continues, and so there will be a required continued effort from the United States to push back against ISIS in the region. But the work that's been done in Iraq, we forget the days when there were prisoners in cages and beheadings on the beach. It seems distant, but it took enormous work from this administration to take the caliphate down, and now it's in its final throes. There's real work to develop democracy in Iraq, to work to develop an independent, sovereign nation there. We are hard at that, and I am confident that the nations of the region, the Gulf states, will all work to make sure that Iraq has an opportunity to be independent from Iran, free and sovereign nation.
And are you encouraged by that new democracy?
Yes, but these things take work. They take work everywhere, and to have that take root here in the Middle East is always a challenge, but we're determined to put our shoulder to the task.
And you also mentioned a Bible story last night when you had your statements with the Prime Minister. Today's being Purim, a celebration, Jews worldwide. And here in Jerusalem, we're talking about the fact that Esther, 2,500 years ago, saved the Jewish people with God's help from Haman. And now, 2,500 years later, there's a new Haman here in the Middle East that wants to eradicate the Jewish people just like Haman did the state of Iran. Could it be that President Trump right now has been sort of raised for such a time as this, just like Queen Esther, to help save the Jewish people from an Iranian menace?
As a Christian, I certainly believe that's possible. It was remarkable. So we were down in the tunnels where we could see 3,000 years ago and 2,000 years ago, if I have the history just right, to see the remarkable history of the faith in this place and the work that our administration has done to make sure that this democracy in the Middle East, of this Jewish state, remains. I'm confident that the Lord is at work here.
Very nice. Secretary Pompeo, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Great to be with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you both.
Alpha.